where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 13, Saturday cloudy with a high near 27, and Sunday partly cloudy with a high near 21. Discover unforgettable shows at Crooner's Supper Club. Visit croonersmn.com to find your perfect concert experience. And don't miss Maggie's Lounge, open Wednesdays through Sundays at 4:30. Crooner's Supper Club, where old school nightlife meets 21st century. That's Crooner's Supper Club.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakun. Thank you very much for joining us. Tonight we are live from the historic Anderson House Hotel in Wabasha, Minnesota. How's that, huh? Didn't even have to pay you. I mean, there might have been a hand moving over here like, this is where you please clap, please clap. We are out here. We're going to be talking about an event that we are out here for. And I just wanted to, first of all, thank you, Becky, for the wonderful hospitality, and Pays, who's not here, they're all behind me and to the sides. It's so unusual. Like normally we're like having people in front of us and stuff, but instead you're all kind of all over. But I appreciate you all coming in here, spending some time with me. I know that one of the things that I wanted to do is that this place is packed. It is packed with paranormal investigators. It's packed with like-minded people. And some of you have kindly spending a little bit of time with me tonight, sharing and seeing how I do this. Others are investigating the hotel. So we wanted to be in an area that we weren't going to interrupt their investigation, because this is just what we're doing here tonight with GhostBox Radio is one small component of a really big and very cool weekend. I just want to also say back over in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, we have Mr. Adam. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well tonight. Kind of jealous you're out there with a bunch of investigators and paranormal teams, but I'll be fine here in Eden Prairie.
Oh my gosh. This is incredible. And we're gonna talk a little bit about this here. We got a jam-packed show. And what I want to do tonight, we do have question of the week, and I want to get to that at some point, but I want to talk about this Parafair 2025 in Wabasha. A number of the folks that are in here are actually, they're, like I said, they're paranormal investigators. They have teams. I want to get Becky on here to talk about the event. I also want to see if any of our friends here want to talk about their teams as well, and maybe they'd be open to answering the question of the week as well. I didn't tell you that when you asked earlier, what are we talking about here? why don't we do this to start with? And that would be learning how to use the laptop. The question of the week for those who are interested in answering it is simply, and you don't have to answer it, but we have people who've answered earlier. You can put it in the comments as well if you want to answer, or you can call in 952-946-6205. That's 952-946-6205. Question of the week here. If you watch the paranormal TV shows, what do you watch them for? Is it purely entertainment, historical locations, the personalities, or to learn how to investigate? What do these shows do for you? And that's what I want to ask. And no one has to answer that in the room if they don't want to, but it's there. Okay. And I know, Adam, you answered it.
I answer almost every week. So.
I like, you're always there. I mean, it's nice to have somebody who actually pays attention to the stuff I post. So,
well, I kind of get paid too, so I kind of need to.
Oh, you get paid. No one told me that. I don't get paid.
I shouldn't have said. I said the loud part quiet, the quiet part loud.
Right, exactly. I don't know. I know GhostBox Radio with Adam is starting on Monday. So first of all, and as you can see how well the studio set up, Becky, I'm not sure how we're going to. I might have to just actually pass you my sweaty microphone because my hands are sweaty. Normally, I don't hold the microphone for the show, but I didn't have anywhere to put it. So, because I do want you to talk about the event. It's tomorrow at the historic Anderson Hotel in Wabasha, Minnesota. That's 333 Main Street West, Wabasha. And it's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's a lot of paranormal groups here. And Becky is one of the folks who have organized this as well as manages the Anderson House. And Becky, what is the purpose for you wanting to do this event?
Well, I think not just me, but our team, Pays and Grant, we just decided that we wanted to have an event where it could be a laid back event. People don't have to pay a lot of money to have a table. We have like-minded people that get together, network, have a good time, just talk about the places we've been, things we've seen, talk about evidence, that kind of stuff. It's just a fun event to get a bunch of people together and talk about our interests.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting, we did a meet and greet around 8 p.m. and it was really fun just to see people like, and I was really surprised actually when Pays was like, we're not going to have everybody introduce themselves. You're all just going to, and it wasn't really like a suggestion. It was more of, you will all mingle if you want to leave this room. And that's what we did. But it wasn't forced. It was fun. It was really cool to see how that was. And one of the things too that we want to remind folks of is that at this event, why don't I feel like I just want to keep talking about it, but you should talk about it because you put so much work into it. Let's talk about also, I mean, let alone the fact that you can come in the event. What is $5 to get in? You get to have a chance to talk with these investigators, and why that's important is because you're going to be in areas. People from different areas are going to come in. These teams are from different areas. They're not all they're not all right next to each other. So if you're having some, questions about paranormal activity in your house or questions what happened, and it's not just paranormal, it's Reiki, it's tarot, it's all these modalities, that you have this opportunity to talk with people that might actually be closer to you than you think, and you can have the opportunity to have those conversations. I do want to talk also about, because I like to eat, it's very obvious, and I want to talk a little bit about the fact that there's going to be some good food here tomorrow, that there is Lost Dutchman in the basement, which is just such a fun place. Do you want to talk a little bit about just the Anderson House in general? And even if you're not interested, which you should be, but if you're not interested coming out for a paranormal excursion tomorrow, why we should always support wonderful places like this, because Wabasha, first of all, is so beautiful. Anderson House is so beautiful, but you also are offering so much here. And this time, I think I'm going to just hand it to you. There we go. It's like an award. You want a radio show.
Yeah. I got the Grammy right here.
Yeah.
So just to come out to the Anderson house, there's just so much history about this place. We're just trying to keep it alive. And with the speakeasy and the restaurant opening, we're trying to bring that back to what it was, quite a few years ago. The speakeasy hadn't been open for over 20 years. So we have that open. It's a really cool environment, just a great atmosphere down there. With the restaurant hadn't been open for quite a few years as well. I would probably say about at least 10 years. And so we're bringing back the home cooked meals. Everything is made from scratch, right down to the doughs for our amazing pizzas and our homemade cheesecakes and all that stuff. Al does an amazing job in the kitchen. He kind of has free reign to make what he likes. And we just want to be able to offer people kind of reminisce about what they had 20 years ago. We have a lot of people that come in here, and I remember when I was here when I was a kid with my grandma. And so we're just trying to bring some of that back and offer really good food at a reasonable price. And we would just love for people to come back, check us out, know that we're open. That's the biggest thing. Know we're open.
I think that's great. And you're a little too good with this, Mike. I want it back. So I think, yes, come on out. And, the thing about Wabasha is that there's so many great things out here happening that stay at the Anderson house, take advantage of the food and stuff here, but also go check out the other restaurants, go check out the what? Yeah, I was just going to say that. Yeah. And I remember when we went to and Pays just picks up a live mic and starts talking into it. Yeah. Yeah, you did. It's just like there's a microphone, like where they're going to say when the next tour is going to start, and he just picks it up, goes, "Hello." Then we ran. We're like, "Oh, well, can't take him anywhere." Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Come on out tomorrow. We'll give you a little bit of some insights into some of the folks that are going to be here. This is going to be really cool, and based off of the just the last two nights. It's my second night here. A lot of you were here last night. You're a fun group. You're really cool people. And normally I don't like paranormal investigators. So I really appreciate that quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. Now, are you all fine sticking around for a little while? I really just don't want to stop you all from enjoying an investigation or something. So I appreciate your time and stuff. But Johnny, I wanted to. So Adam, I was gifted a toy tonight.
Oh, what do you have?
This is we can't call it a REM pod.
No.
That would shut him down. What did you? It's VIP. And Johnny, come on over here. So it's kind of like REM pod-ish.
Oh, okay.
REM style pod. You want to take a look at it? Just don't give him one.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is really nice.
That's lovely.
Meanwhile, people are only listening on the radio. They're like, "What is that sound?" Johnny, do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Absolutely. Do you want me to take the mic?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So this is the Vortex Investigation Pod. It is an investigation tough REM style pod. So I don't get trademark infringed. It's a 3D printed shell with isolated electronics. And since I'm a complete klutz, I had to make it so if I dropped it, it didn't explode.
This thing is heavy. This is heavy. No, they don't need to hear me.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I started developing about a year ago. It took about 6 months to get to where it is now. Part of that was me just taking one and throwing it across the room every once in a while, just to see what would break, so I can figure out how to make it not break again.
Yeah, this thing is durable. Now, I'll take it. It's not necessarily available yet because you're trying to refigure out the distribution pattern of this, right?
Yep. Since the Etsy got taken down, I've been trying to figure out how to sell them again. Vortex Paranormal on Facebook. You send me a message, I'll send you one. $50.
There you go. And once you get okay, and then if you do anything else, let me know, and I'll let folks know too.
Absolutely.
And do it.
Thank you.
So Vortex Paranormal on Facebook,
Yep.
and let them know. And I think we'll be a number of us will be trying these tonight because you've been kind to give some of these out, right?
Yep. As many of them as I have. I only put together 4 or 5 of them for this, but I should have made more. I didn't think they'd be this popular out here.
Well, and the thing too is like you are really doing this so that people who want to investigate, we're not rich, you're giving us an opportunity to afford some of the stuff because paranormal equipment by the big names, it's not cheap.
Right. When I started a year and a half ago, I'm really techie. I'm a tech guy. So the first investigation I went on, I was looking at all the gear and I picked up a REM pod, one of the big name ones, and hey, don't touch that. That's like $300. $300? What's $300 about this? And took an inventory of the parts and realized I could make them for $50. And that's why I sell them for $50. Because there's so many small groups out there, small teams, and nobody's got Baggins money, So nobody's going to spend $300 on on a bunch of these things, $300 at a time. So I just want to get good gear in the hands of investigators. The better gear people have, the more gear people have, the better evidence we get, and we all win in the end.
There we go. No, that's awesome. So Johnny, what group are you with also?
I am out here with the MAPS crew.
And MAP stands for
Minnesota, Association for Paranormal Study. Put me on the spot there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I asked such difficult questions like which group you're with. I'll try to dumb it down in the future.
It's 4 words. That's so much. There's a reason my company is Vortex Paranormal.
See, you don't need to be so worried, right? I mean, do you watch any paranormal shows?
I have watched just about every U.S. show and that one really cool Canadian show where they bring the guy in afterwards to explain everything.
Do you have like a like is there a reason why you watch them? That like what do these shows do for you?
Yeah. Wow. I've never really thought about that.
You're wonderful to interview, by the way.
Well, thank you. You're hitting me off catching me off guards with all of these incredibly softball questions.
My mistake was I forgot to tell you I'd be asking questions in this interview, and I will try to be more succinct in the future.
Gotcha. Well, the ghost shows, it's all about entertainment, right? What's around the corner? What are these cool places? Because they always give you a little bit of history and a little bit of the new tech that's going on. Like I said, I'm really tech oriented. And then they go through and just have an entertaining scare fest, and you get to watch people jump up and down and be scared out of their minds for the 3rd time that take.
Right.
But,
absolutely.
It's just entertaining.
What's the name of the Canadian show? Joanne in the comments are asking.
I am desperately trying to think.
Oh, geez, here we go again.
It only went for 2 seasons.
Anyone know what that is? Okay.
That's
okay. We'll find it, and
okay.
we'll never find it.
The people watching will come up with it. The power of the internet.
That's right. All right, Johnny. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everything. All right, and you're all going to be able to stick around for a little bit. We'll get to you afterwards. Okay, let's go ahead. Adam, let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we're in Casual Friday. We're live at the Anderson House in Wabasha, Minnesota. We're here for Parafair 2025, and we have a lot more to get to. This is going to be a fun night. If you have any comments, put them into the comments section, or you can call in 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations, exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And it is Casual Friday here in GhostBox Radio. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. We are live from the historic Anderson House Hotel in Wabasha, Minnesota. We're having just a great time here, and we are getting ready. Now, if you're like, oh, he's still talking about Parafair, absolutely I am. Honestly, take a road trip. If you're up in the cities, take a road trip, come down. It's a beautiful drive. And whether you come down the Minnesota side or the Wisconsin side, and it pains me to say this, coming down from the Twin Cities, from the Wisconsin side, and more beautiful. I'm going to be honest, it's just more beautiful. Adam, you've been down to Wabasha, haven't you?
I have. Many, many years ago, I was down there, God, back when I worked in the Northfield area. So it's been a long time since I've been there, but I have always wanted to go back.
Come on out. Come on out.
I would have loved to have been there tonight, but, can't.
Well, you can, like I just got done telling everybody, there's this Parafair tomorrow.
Yeah.
That, and I also need someone at the table. No, come on out.
I will definitely. I'm gonna get it. I'll give it a try. I will talk to the wife and see if she's up for a road trip tomorrow. I would love to be there.
I asked Becky if she'd waive your $5 fee, and she's just like, no.
No matter who it is.
We need that. So just.
Oh, I get that.
Oh, very good. All right. So we're having this great conversation. I want to talk to some of the folks in this room because they're all investigators, and I'd love to be able to have them introduce themselves and what team they're with, and how people can find them. Note that this is not a substitution for not coming out to the Parafair. This is like with the one question readings. This is an hors d'oeuvre for what's to come, and what you're going to find here is that. You know what I love about all of you, and I feel like I hope I'm in the same vein. There's times that we need to take this stuff seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously, and run into so many just other places. I'm not saying Minnesota or something where people, they seem to be like they must have removed their humor chip or something, and I just it's a shame. Who would like to talk about their team? Don't all jump at once. Oh, it's Grant.
All right.
So far we've talked to another member of your team. No, come on over and say, this is Grant. How are you, Grant?
Hi, I'm great. I'm with Northern Shadows Paranormal. So Becky's my boss. So Becky and Paz. It's we host the event, but I don't do any work for it. It's all Becky. But
Kind of like your career, right?
yeah, exactly. Yes, the women do all the work, but yeah.
Once again, we're on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
There we go.
Anything else you want to say to kind of shorten your life further, or?
Well, the Parafair, what I love about it is we just get to chillax, have fun, talk with a bunch of other investigators, share a lot of stories. We do get to do a little investigating. It's very relaxed, but it's just a lot of fun. There's good food, good people, meeting old friends, making new friends. It's just a very, very fun weekend. I look forward to it every year.
I couldn't agree more, and I rarely agree with you. So I mean, that's what's more amazing about it. Okay, sit down. No, actually, you know what? I did have another question for you. Do you watch any of the shows? It's question of the week. Do any of these paranormal shows do anything? Like, is there a reason why you watch them, or do you not watch them at all?
I do watch them, and I love the paranormal shows. I also just love TV. So I love watching Ghost Adventures, and I know that probably makes me unpopular, but I think it's very entertaining. I know a lot of it is not real, so I take it with a lot of salt, but it's very entertaining. It's very fun, and I just enjoy it. Anything that has to do with paranormal stuff always gets me going.
I got a secret. Seriously, now you can sit down. But I got a secret. I first started by watching Ghost Adventures, and the whole thing that got me was that back in the day it wasn't called a spirit box. It was a shack hack, and it's that if I remember thinking if that really works the way that it does on the show, I might want to get into this. And that's what led me down my journey. So even though a show that I think it's kind of bred some, not nastiness, but just like bad habits. I think that shows like these also do inspire people in the right way. They can. And I think I do need to say too, when I asked that question for question of the week, it's not a loaded question. It's not me trying to get people to say there's nothing I like about this stuff. It's more like there is a point of it that it's like, oh, this is there is good things about these, even if it's just for entertainment value. There's nothing wrong with that. Adam, what was your response to that, to the question?
For me, I'm a big fan of the locations. I like seeing where they're going, and I like more of the history or the folklore that has led to the stories of the hauntings. As for watching them, I do watch pretty much all of them. My favorite, though, is the old school Ghost Hunters. I love their methodology, and I'm probably the oddball out of everyone in that room with. I prefer going over evidence more so than actually doing the investigation. I like going through the MP3 player. I like watching the videos back. I'm more into that than actually investigating. But since there's now the heavy duty REM pod, I might give another thought to that. So I'm not worried about breaking what
I'll bring it over to you. It over to you. You can try it.
Because you know how klutzy I am.
Well, you all the other equipment that I've sent your way, you haven't broke. So
true.
So far, so good. What do you all think? I mean, Adam brings up a good point. And I remember when Shar was with me one day and we were at the station and Adam made that claim that he much rather go through the audio and stuff. And her and I both looked at each other like, join our team. I think people want your number over here, Adam. I think people are very interested in talking to you further about.
Feel free to hand it out. Feel free to hand it out. But, unlike you, I didn't get started on Ghost Adventures. That was my second one that I ended up watching. I have the embarrassment of I got hooked onto the paranormal shows through Most Haunted.
It's interesting.
But
I guested on Supernatural Circumstances today. That's coming out on January 20th as a paranormal television roundtable. And Morgan Knudsen, who runs that, she was talking about how for the longest time that was the only show that they got up in Canada was Most Haunted.
yeah, and I loved the locations and the folklore that went along with all the hauntings, and that got me into the historical aspect of it. But then as I got further along, it's like, no, I actually kind of like the evidence review.
Yeah. When there's only one like recorder. No,
no, you know me. I have a teenage daughter, so I have plenty of time because she doesn't want to communicate with me.
Now, I don't know if you've been reading the comments, but Joanne says, Adam, she didn't say Adam and Greg. She said, Adam, if you guys remember the Canadian show that the other lad, Johnny's a lad, was talking about, send me a text. So she said your name, not mine. So that is on your to-do list.
Well, I will see what I can find and throw it in the comments because I'm thinking it's Paranormal Encounters, but I want to say Paranormal Encounters was a reenactment and not an actual investigation, but I can Google that.
And then Paranormal Theory says Zach has mastered the line of investigating and entertainment, which is, I mean, that is exactly it. I mean, it's there, and you can't be mad about it. As a man who figured it out, and I think what's more annoying is the people who came afterwards trying to duplicate that success. So it's like you're breeding people who are not into the paranormal because they want to, show the world how to, do it, and that there's more than just being, dark in the paranormal. They just want to replicate that kind of success because he, apart from him and probably Jason Haas, there isn't that many who are making that kind of money as they are. So, Pammy Bear. That's not my nickname for you, Adam. It's Pammy Bear. She's been to our events before. She says the Anderson House is awesome place to investigate, which is so true. So yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Now, anyone else wants to talk? Come on over. Let us know who you are.
I'm Becky. I'm the lead investigator for Bluff Country Paranormal Investigators, BCPI.
Where is that located?
We are located out of Fillmore County in southeast Minnesota.
Okay. How long have you been a team?
Since May of 2014.
So it's going on the 11th year.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty incredible. Well done. So you're here tomorrow. Yep. Maybe I can use the microphone too, I guess. I'm new at all this myself. My first show. And it certainly sounds like it, right, Adam? So you're going to be here. Are you presenting?
We are not presenting this year. We presented last year and we'll present again next year. But we are giving away free stuff at our table.
Yeah, come on out. I mean, it's really cool. It's going to really cool. How can people get a hold of you, especially if they're in that sector of Minnesota or they have a question or whatever?
The best way to get a hold of our team would be to go to our Facebook page, which is BCPI Bluff Country Paranormal Investigators. We have 3 different of our team members that watch that page, so you get a really quick response that way.
That's fantastic. Do you want to answer the question of the week?
Sure.
Okay, so once again, the question of the week is, do you watch the shows, and why do you watch them, and what do they do for you?
I do watch them, and the main reason that I think I get the most joy out of watching them is learning about new locations, not just some of the shows, especially the the famous shows.
Absolutely. The more popular locations.
Yes, you learn about other locations than just the standard when you're watching around, not only the TV shows, but also some of the YouTube people. And it's not always that you're watching them because of the way they investigate, but where they're going and sometimes the history of why they go to those places.
That's great. I think that's probably one of the things that I do it for as well, is seeing the locations that aren't the norm. Mm-hmm. And I get very disappointed when I see the shows doing the norm. Oh, I guess we're done with Becky. No, it's fine. We're fine. It's like, I guess that interview, I wouldn't have done that to you. It is only Grant. Nobody does. No, that's just how that works. Yeah, it's so much. Why do people think I'm gonna tear them apart? I don't know. I'm a nice person. I am actually. Yeah. Now, Mark, do you want to talk about your team at all? We'll do it after the next break. Sit down. So but we will do it. But I wanted to make sure because we're gonna head off to break here pretty soon. But while we do that, let's see if I have any good responses. We got a lot of, well, not a lot, but we got more than usual coming through for the responses this week. And Sarah, who is one of the co-owners for the Get Haunted Network, she says she does watch them for entertainment. However, it doesn't mean I haven't learned something new and amazing. And there is something about it. I personally don't want it to be, though, like the only thing I'm learning is that there's a new piece of equipment. Because, as Johnny can attest to, it's, and we don't want you back on the air. I'm just saying your name. But as Johnny could attest to, as soon as you see something new, that means hundreds of dollars, right? I mean, it's just right away. I think my favorite piece of equipment that came out in the last maybe, I don't know, 3-4 years is the tripwire. And I was at Ohio State Penitentiary, and we were doing they do a big Paracon there every year. And I was lucky enough to be with a group that we were investigating the basement of this place while the convention was going on upstairs. A massive storm comes through, and it's raining so hard, severe weather, tornado warnings and stuff. Rain is coming through the prison. And that's where, and I could show you all pictures afterwards because it's so beautiful, though. That's where all the vendors and the guests and stuff were set up all around. And these people who made the tripwire, they were selling them there, and like the rain's falling on it and stuff. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I might want to get some of these. How much are they? And they're like $300. And I said, good day, sir. And not because everyone has their threshold of how much they want to pay, but it's just like, gosh, I can't. But have you all used that at all? And I mean, like the thicker, lights, because there's a couple different kinds, but these are like that do the multiple colors in each bead.
I have not, but I think Twin Cities Paranormal. I would say I don't own one, but Dawn from Twin Cities Paranormal, I did an investigation with her at the Palmer House, and she had them out, and they were fabulous.
They are amazing.
I really enjoyed using Dawn's.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we're just talking about you. Am I allowed to talk to you? It's like we're rival stations.
No, we're not.
No, you're right. Actually, we're not. So, Don, you want to talk about TCPS when we come back for break?
Definitely.
All right, awesome. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we're going to talk to a few more of cool people from paranormal teams that are going to be at the Parafair 2025 at the historic Anderson House Hotel in Wabasha, Minnesota. This is Casual Friday. You are listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com. Are you one of thousands of individuals who know you have psychic abilities but don't know how to tap into your higher self? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who offers classes that can help you reach your goals. Refined Divine holds classes Monday and Thursday at her 2 locations and via Zoom. Classes consist of manifestation, learning psychic abilities, shadow work, and healing trauma. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
This is Psychic Medium Deb. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
It is Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio. Thank you so very much for joining us. Before we move any further, I just want to remind folks, join us Monday on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun. We're going to move away from paranormal for the night because one of my personal loves are films and film restoration. And I'm going to be talking with 2 people who do a podcast called Perf Damage. And one of them actually restores films for Hollywood. And she just got done restoring the film White Christmas for their 4K release. And I saw her walk through the restoration. And as someone who loves restoration, I was all about it, and I love it, and I want to share that. And you might be like, oh, I'm not, I don't really think much about film restoration. Think about the fact, and you can't compare the two, but at the same time, you can't help but think about the two. Fires around Hollywood, fires around Los Angeles, let alone the fact that so many people are losing so much at the moment, that also there is history being lost. There is so many wonderful things being lost. And so restoring stuff when you're able to, such as films and stuff, it to me is a very big deal. So we're going to have Perf Damage on Monday, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really interesting program, a little bit different than what we normally do. But Adam, I feel like that is it's a nice way. And, January, we tend not to do tons of paranormal. We do some, but it's kind of a nice way to get back into the year.
It is, and this is going to be very timely with the restorations, like you were talking about with the fires there in LA. You got to think how many of the film museums or prop museums are in a lot of danger. And Hollywood is a lot of American history when it comes to the entertainment side. And even, just the history of this country in general, when you look at like comic books or the film industry, and a lot of that is going to be lost.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So with that, we want to continue on. And Mark, we said that you're next, but we're actually going to Don right now. And we are, let's just, what do you mean great? Like you've not done this before. First of all, Don, we've been just talking with everyone in the room about like what team they are from and all that.
Yeah. So I'm with Twin Cities Paranormal Society. We cover, within like an hour of the Twin Cities. So that's usually our radius of where we cover. And if there are cases outside of that area, we pass it on to other teams.
Absolutely. And TCPS has been around since 2006 and has done a lot for the paranormal community and the community in general. So really appreciate that.
Oh, well, I mean, I wasn't on the team then. I lived in dirty.
I take that back. I take that back
then. I lived in dirty old Missouri. So then I moved here 8 years ago. But no, I've loved the team. It is a scientific team. So we're super boring. No, I don't mean that. But we do take a scientific approach. But I truly believe that there's room for everybody in this field. And what I love about this para fair is that we get a chance to talk to other teams and how they investigate, and you can learn something from everybody. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. We just try to debunk things. That's kind of what I mean by scientific first, is that we really, really focus on debunking before we jump to conclusions.
And your TAPS family.
Yes, we're a TAPS family. That is no longer a thing really, but it's kind of like, well, of course, with ghost hunters, and they choose teams. We have to go through checks, like background checks for our members, and we can't accept money from.
So Grant would never get in.
It's just there are rules, and so whether it helps us weed out people that might not be, because we're going into people's homes and businesses, so
And
you don't
maybe
want
not fully invested.
yes
And yeah,
yes, exactly.
absolutely.
So it's just been a great time, and I know you guys were talking about the tripwire.
Yep.
Do
you want to hold it up for people to
it's going crazy right now because we're around a lot of electronic equipment, but it's
high quality radio equipment.
but it's fun on investigations because it basically is like a string of Christmas lights, but they're all K2 meters. And so you can hang it in a doorway, and we get a lot of responses from, can you light up those lights for us? And so we'll even count out, like, can you light up the third one from the end?
Yes.
And, it's just a fun visual.
It is.
And then you'll get, if you get EVPs at the same time, it's really kind of cool to go, oh, look, it's answering us and lighting up the lights. So it's been a fun thing. And actually, it's North Carolina Paranormal Detectives that make these.
Very nice.
And then they also make, like, I don't work for them. Don't think I'm like selling their products, but I wanted to give them credit. That's where it came from. And then they have these lanterns that are
I love
the
those.
same. So,
Have you seen those, Adam?
Yeah, I've seen them used on Kindred Spirits. And that's another show that I actually kind of dig.
That's
But
nice.
yeah, I have seen them being used.
Yes.
Very nice. Now, Don, where can people listen to you in the Twin Cities?
Oh, well, I am on terrestrial radio like you are.
Right.
We can't let that die, can we?
No, we're doing our best. High quality paranormal entertainment over here.
Yeah, so I'm on My Talk 1071. It's an entertainment talk station. So I'm on from noon to 3 weekdays.
Very nice.
Yep, and I talk about celebrity gossip, and I'd rather talk about paranormal stuff all the time. Don't tell them, but it's a job.
Don't worry, no one's listening. They won't know.
I've been doing it since I was radio since I was 19, so it's in my blood. And
Isn't it?
You're doing so, man. You're awesome.
Oh,
you're
so
doing so well.
kind.
Not like I'm your mom or something, but like this is hard. What you do, and to come up with topics all the time, and to get guests, and like people want to do this, but it's people like you that do the hard work, that he's a great guy. And so if you're watching right now, and hey, shout out to your producer, is it Adam?
I don't know. Oh yeah, it is Adam. Yeah, it is.
He does a lot of hard work too. So
He does. No,
yes.
it's a great partnership, and thank you for the kind words.
Well,
That's very nice.
The opportunity to be on.
Thank you. And so once again, come out, see Don tomorrow. Mark, we'll talk to you next week. No, come on out. Come on over. Let's talk about the show. Or sorry, let's talk about your team.
I'm Mark from Search for Spirits. We're out of St. Cloud. And I don't know, our territory is pretty much the whole state, Wisconsin, Iowa, wherever we're needed.
Is that it?
Well,
I mean, it's like, where? How can people get a hold of you? Well, no, I don't mean like territory. You just kind of stop talking. So, I mean, are you? First of all, you've been on my show before, and it was great. And you and Russ is here this weekend. And one thing that I noticed immediately when we were talking was in the show originally, is just really enjoying your take and Russ's take on stuff, and just having really good paranormal conversations. And I just, I don't know if we really ever talked about that, but we really need to get you back on and figure out a topic and just go with it.
That was fun.
That's fun to do, right? Just to talk about paranormal stuff.
We just rambled, and it was
Kind of like now.
like now.
Yeah, absolutely. How can people get a hold of you and find you
We
all?
have a Facebook page. It's Search for Spirits. Search the number 4 Spirits. Hit us up on Messenger.
Awesome. That's great. No, yeah, absolutely. Check them out. And you're out of St. Cloud, Sartell, and you're just, yeah. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
And come down tomorrow and see us.
And come on down tomorrow and see us 100%. And I do want to also mention, and I don't know if we're going to have time. I know we have a caller that I'm going to be giving a talk tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. about alien interaction. So please, but there's a whole day full of talks. You are at the end of the day, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So come on down. Great conversation, great topics. We have a caller. I don't know how much time we can take to it, but let's put them through. Who do we have?
We have Ryan on line 1 here. Ryan, are you there?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan, how are you doing tonight?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. What you got to say? You wanted to weigh in on tonight's topic.
Yeah. So you were bringing up a interesting point of like, do you watch the paranormal shows and everything? And so I'm actually a content creator. I'm one half of Paranormal Theory. We're a YouTube channel, and we just got acquired by Paraflix for a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting because I've had people tell me that are investigators that they don't like watching the shows. And I was real big growing up into like ghost hunters, ghost adventures. And kind of recently we take, like, for our videos and our content, we take a lot of influence from like Destination Fear and Project Fear in the way that they film their content, kind of like that vlog style.
Sure.
But I've also noticed that, you know, I go on like to these investigations and I do all the editing and like these films take me probably like 35 to 40 hours of computer time.
I get it.
And I don't really watch the paranormal stuff anymore. I don't know if that's because my life revolves around it now, and it's like, and it's not that I'm just not interested, but it's like, I don't know. It's
Right.
it's not a weird topic, but it's an interesting topic.
No, it is. And Ryan, I had done my own web series as well with lots of editing and stuff. And do you think that part of that for you is that you also don't want to be influenced by what other people are doing, so you're not, even just subconsciously copying what maybe some of the other folks are doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that has something to do with it, and I also find myself being my own worst enemy when it comes to my work. And then after like it's edited and put out, one of our videos has like 16,000 views, and then I'll just like I can't watch my stuff after I put it out, and I don't know if it's because I'm going to nitpick little things that only I'm going to notice, really, unless you're like an editor and, you kind of do this stuff, or it's I've spent so much time with it that I get sick of it.
I got it. Ryan, those are great topics. When is your Paraflix show premiered, or has it premiered?
No, so it hasn't premiered yet. We just sent them through the video that we did from the Warren Occult Museum. We were actually invited over to Ed and Lorraine's house, and we got to investigate like with the real Annabelle doll and all that. So that was wild. But that just got sent into them, so it's really up to them of when they're going to start it. But I would think in the next couple weeks that first episode will be up.
Well, Ryan, congratulations with that. And send me information if you remember when it goes, and I'll remind the folks over here, and you can go and sign up for Paraflix at paraflixflixx.com. Ryan, thanks for the call.
Yeah, man, thanks. And Paranormal Theory on YouTube. That's where all of our content's going right now. So
awesome. Sound good. All right. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Now, I just want to remind everybody, because I don't know if I've said it, that we're doing Parafair 2025 tomorrow, and we would love to have you all come on out. And I hope you can tell we're just having a great time over here. It's just so this is gonna translate into the event tomorrow. So once again, come on over. It is 10 to 5 p.m. tomorrow at the historic Anderson House in Wabasha, Minnesota. $5 to get in. You're going to see a lot of people that are like-minded who do the investigations. They might be able to help. People who do Reiki, people who do tarot. You're going to be able to find a lot of great modalities. Come on out. I'm going to be there. Stop by, say hi. We're all talking. We're all going to have presentations tomorrow. It's going to be great, and we would really love to see you there. Stop by, and if you end up coming out here because you heard of from the show, please, when you pay to get in, let them know you heard about it on GhostBox Radio. Would love to be able to show Becky that that GhostBox Radio listeners support this. So really would appreciate it. And as we wrap up the show, just want to thank you all very much for taking the time. I mean, I really appreciate y'all taking the time tonight. This is a lot of fun. I hope you all had a good time as well. Yeah, right. Too bad it's counterfeit, right? Adam, as always, it's good to see you. Thanks for everything.
You're quite welcome. Have fun this weekend, man.
Certainly will. We'll be back on Monday with Perf Damage talking about film restoration. And everyone have a great weekend. We're hoping to see you out here at the Para Fair 2025 in Wabasha at the Anderson House tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend.
It's Brad Friedman, your friendly investigative blogger, journalist, and host of the Bradcast on AM 950, KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the